Hello guys, welcome to Python and Machine Learning Daily. Today we'll talk about Lambda functions in Python, and this is one of those examples where I personally struggle Googling something with Python. Have you noticed the same thing? So for example, you Google Python Lambda functions and there are two types of articles or tutorials. Either something from W3 schools, which is very simple set of examples like a plus 10, a plus b or x or something with a lot of commercials, so they are not real-life examples and it's hard to understand how to adapt that to your projects. Another set of tutorials is the opposite, like Real Python, which is an awesome resource, but you open this and there's a huge article with all the history about Lambda functions, first example, so really hard to quickly grasp what the topic is about. So this is what I'm trying to do on this channel, dissect it for myself and then kind of being a journalist to you with quick examples on certain topics. So for example, Lambda functions. Here I am in my Jupyter notebook in one of the demo projects for machine learning, where we have this data set and our goal is to create a new column in a data frame. And we have a function of which value should be assigned to that column. So if is viral equals 1, then that new column will be viral, a string, otherwise normal. And then with Pandas data frame, we have apply function and we can pass the function as a parameter. But in this case, the function is so simple that it could be fit in one line. So Lambda functions are actually kind of one-liner functions. They are often called anonymous functions or callback functions in other programming languages. So alternative way of writing the same thing would be this. Instead of calling that function, which is irrelevant now, you could do something like this. You define that as lambda, x is a variable, which means a row in this case. And then if statement, if that row is viral equals 1, then the return value of that function, of that lambda function, is viral. Otherwise, we return normal. So in other words, if you have a function which is really short and could fit into one line, you can call that like this with lambda syntax. Here's another example, also with Jupyter Notebook from another project, but also with DataFrames. We have DataFrames apply, and instead of creating a separate function, we check if the status column equals m, then we return the reference column, otherwise we return column. So these are two examples how to use Lambda functions as apply with DataFrames, which is, I think, much more practical example than something from W3 schools with x and a and b variables. If you have any more practical examples of Lambda functions, shoot them in the comments below and subscribe to the channel to get more tips about Python and machine learning and pandas and other related topics, and see you guys in other videos.